From Finbom, Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Live at Lunch, 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge. I'm Charles Handigraph along with Jimmy Ott. Max Gotro out today. He'll be back with us tomorrow. Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. Randy McKay with us today. Wes Reynolds with us today on a gorgeous day here. Easter week. And my old friend Jim Hawthorne used
Holy
to say,
Week, Charlie.
Holy Week.
Come
I know.
on,
I went to Catholic
Catholicism
school.
down, boy.
My friend Jim Hawthorne used to say there's always one little cold snap right before Easter, and then we're done with the cold weather. I think we had that, over the weekend last week.
I was surprised when I woke up this morning.
It was cool this morning, but the warm temperatures are here to stay. And
so over at Walmart,
yesterday afternoon was phenomenal.
since
This
I've
morning
been back,
it's great.
every afternoon.
Yeah, it's been
phenomenal.
great. It's been great.
Been wearing the hell out that green egg, man.
Enjoying
it's green egg season.
Right.
Thibodeau store, baby.
Go get your big green egg cooker and all the accessories. Maybe we could send one to Derek Carr. Maybe you and I can chip in and send one to Derek Carr. Make him feel a little bit more at home because he's not getting a whole lot of love these days, and he shouldn't be. Although the anger is in a little bit misdirected, but boy, this situation, this is one of the.
He's hurt.
You think?
He's on. Well, he did a
He's
car.
butt hurt. I don't know if his shoulder's hurt. His butt's hurt.
Well, he might require surgery, right?
You believe that sort of thing? Yeah, maybe.
we believed it up till yesterday, huh?
Yeah. Then a little bit more digging, and maybe
because it's not normal for people to fake injuries, huh?
Faking injuries when you've just been recently required to take a physical to sign a contract, and there's been no activity on the football field since then, I think qualifies as a little bit fishy. Which shoulder did you hurt? Is it your throwing shoulder or the other one? Don't know. How'd you hurt it? Don't know. How bad is it hurt? Does it actually require surgery? Is it something you could rehab? Don't know. He's good enough. He's in good enough shape to do podcasts and travel all over Europe. Okay.
I mean, you could do that, hurt.
You can. But is it that,
sure
or
he's
is
not crunched up in coach?
No, he's very well compensated for what what he does. Is he aggravated that the Saints are looking for another quarterback? I don't know. They drafted a quarterback the last 2 years. Didn't seem to bother him too much. They may be drafting one a lot sooner in the draft this year than they did the last 2 years. Is that it?
How do we know?
Are they looking at him as a bridge to another quarterback? They certainly should be. They're not going to win anything with him. But listen, I understand the anger with Derek Carr from the fan base. He's not a very likable guy. He hasn't been overly successful. His play leaves a lot to be desired, although he's not the worst quarterback in the league, but it leaves a lot to be desired. His demeanor with some of his teammates has rubbed people the wrong way. I get all of that. And I'm no huge Derek Carr fan. I like the idea of bringing him in the first year. I didn't like the idea of extending him the second year. I absolutely hated the idea of restructuring the contract again, but I suspect they didn't have much of a choice given the corner they had painted themselves into. But the anger that's at Derek Carr is fine, but your biggest target should be Mickey Loomis. Again, sorry, but he's the one that authorized this signing. He's the one that authorized the renegotiation, the restructure. Rather, he's the one that put the
something new. Mickey Loomis sucks.
He's the one that put the no trade clause in the contract. He's the one that guaranteed this obscene amount of money. He's the one that has the Saints on the hook for $69 million next year if Carr's not with them. And yes, they would be able to redo it again and get enough cap space to field a team, but you're on this perpetual hamster wheel. This is all Mickey Loomis's fault. Okay. Derek Carr is a convenient scapegoat. What has Derek Carr done? Like I said, he's not likable. And he's a middle of the road quarterback. But what has he done to put the Saints in this position? He asked for a contract. He asked for a no trade clause. He asked for the terms to be this, and he signed it. And now the Saints are in this pickle. Whose fault is that? Listen, if somebody walks in here with that contract and asks me to sign it, I'm going to sign it. I'm going to take my money, and I'm going to take all the leverage with it in a no trade clause, which I wouldn't have given Derek Carr. There's maybe 6, 8 guys in the league I would give no trade power to. I mean, Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson and a couple others, and that's about the list, man. I mean, maybe a
Josh
guy,
Allen's pretty good.
Josh Allen, he would be on that list. Somebody like a T.J. Watt or a Max Crosby or somebody like that. Okay, Jalen Hurts now that they won the Super Bowl, somebody like that. I'm not. Stop. Let's just not go there.
Oh, really?
You know
Okay.
how many guys in the NBA have a no trade clause? You know how many guys in the NBA have a no trade clause?
I don't know.
2. LeBron James and Bradley Beal. That's it. That's the whole list. You don't give no trade clauses to guys with limited leverage.
How many in the NFL have them?
It's a pretty short list. I don't have the exact number, but it's a pretty short list, and it shouldn't be. But he's got it, okay, and that's Mickey Loomis's fault. And they're in this cap situation.
Why are we crushing Mickey Loomis today?
Because there's new information on Derek Carr, and the Saints are in a bigger pickle.
What's the new information?
The new information is that the injury may be fabricated.
Right.
Okay.
But that's it. You got to give the Saints fans a lot of credit on their instincts. I mean, they go out, they despise this guy, and he's been pretty average, mediocre.
Yeah.
Some people mediocre in definition is average, but it has a little bit of a negative connotation. But he's been being sort of that average, right below average, and his career has been average or just above average. And he is, if you had to break down the starting 32 quarterbacks, he'd be somewhere in the middle, give or take, probably, maybe closer to the 20s. 20, then maybe 12, with 16, 17. But they hated him in Vegas.
They hated him in Vegas.
I think he was a little bit of a scapegoat. Let's remind ourselves that quarterbacks get too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
You just did one. Too much credit and too much blame on the wins and losses of their team. So part of that, we were reminded when we first got the Hornets here. Well, Shin is your owner. You think he's been a crappy owner there. You think what do you think you're going to get? But the Raiders, they were still, they were excited and they were crap. And I did get him to a playoff season one year and played pretty damn well. Pro Bowl year that year? I think so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I think so. But man, the Saints, how much is post Breeze? But they've had a couple of quarterbacks in between.
Yeah,
but they hate this guy. I guess because it's the money.
He's actually made the Pro Bowl 4 times, which the Pro Bowl, whatever.
There's how much by as an alternate.
Yeah,
I would have to say probably half at least.
Let's say he's had 1 Pro Bowl season.
Let's just say that. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Maybe a little bit more than that. Let's talk about the other reason why this story is getting so much more traction. Locally, it would have plenty of traction anyway, but nationally, it's got more traction because this now puts the Saints as the most likely team to draft Shedeur Sanders.
Now, Charlie, that's different. Now, the local embarrassment has been there. We've beaten it to a pulp. I mean, it's just over and over and over. I got criticized for giving big picture too much for for LSU basketball. Well, if you're not paying attention, if you can't smell that was a turd. But this has been a turd for quite some time. But now, yes, the Saints are not really a spotlight team. They're going to talk about the Cowboys. They're going to talk about these teams too. The Giants, the Jets. They're going to talk about them to the Bears. But Saints ain't one of them. And now the Saints are being talked about more for this draft and what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And the Carr injury at first, a few days ago, they're being discussed more than they are during the season. And so now the embarrassment is expanding. And so, I got a feeling when we have our buddy Matt Humans on tomorrow, say, you tried to warn us. You tried to warn us,
right? Right. And you're right. The intrigue at the top of the draft is mostly around Sanders. Are the Titans going to take Cam Ward? Yes. Okay. Are the Browns going to take Travis Hunter? Yes. If the Browns throw a big curveball, they might take Abdul Carter. But yeah, that's pretty much done. Could the Giants take Shedeur Sanders? They might, but most indications are that they will not. And after that, nobody else is really in the quarterback market until you get to the Saints, the next
Well,
half a
that's
dozen
why
picks.
his over under's
That's
been
why
8.5 for quite some time.
that's why this is getting all of the attention. Will the Saints take Sanders? Would they even trade up for Sanders? I thought Dan Morgan had well, okay. Tell me that this is not a bright thing to do if you are the general manager of a football team. Dan Dan Morgan, okay, the general manager of Carolina, who has the 8th pick and happens to be in the same division as the Saints, said, "Yeah, we're open for business. Anybody want to trade up in front of the Saints? They looking for a quarterback? Come on, we'll do it." Now, is anybody going to trade up in front of the Saints to get Shadir Sanders? I don't know, probably not. But could it push the Saints into a panic move to make a trade with the Jets or somebody else in the top 5 to make sure they get their quarterback? Wouldn't that be a Saints move? Wouldn't it be just like Mickey Loomis to say, we wanted to make sure we got our guy, so we traded up to 6 or we traded up to 7 and squandered another, 3rd-round pick or something in the process? I thought Morgan was, may not work, but it doesn't cost him anything but, hit and send on a tweet to say, yeah, sure, we'd be interested in trading. Anybody want to get in front of the Saints? We're right there for you.
Mickey Loomis is an imbecile. Okay. That's okay.
So
that's breaking.
So take take advantage.
But I mean the Carr thing. If he's staging an injury because his feelings are hurt, man, he needs to get his ass kicked. I mean, just that simple. I mean, he is getting away with highway robbery. It was the market rate when they first brought him in. But you talk about you're gonna pay this dude $70 million to sit on the side next year. What's the odds on him taking a snap in the 2026 season for the New Orleans Saints?
0. In my opinion. 2026 season?
Well, that's next season, right? I mean,
I don't
that's the
think
following season, right? That's the 70 million season, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what I'm talking about, Charlie. What's the chances of him taking a snap when you're on the hook for 70 million?
I think the chances are 0 that he takes any this year. Okay, I think they have to get him out of the building.
Well, guess what? Then they're below 0.
Yeah.
in 2026,
right. And this is almost exactly the same situation that the Denver Broncos had with Russell Wilson. Okay. You have a player. He's not terrible. He's still a capable starting quarterback in the league. I mean, he's not worse.
Russell Wilson accomplished more things,
way more than Derek Carr. But at this point, but he's also older. Okay, he's no longer an elite quarterback the way he once was. And they hated him.
They hated him.
And Peyton had to get him out the building, and it was going to require ripping the Band-Aid off in this obscene salary cap hit just to get him out of the building. And you say, well, who would want him? Okay. Pittsburgh took Russell Wilson. Why?
Well,
because he was nothing. Because he was free. Okay. And why would anybody take Derek Carr? Because the Saints are going to be paying the freight. He'll essentially be free.
And he started. He was their starter. This past season.
Yes.
For the Steelers. So to get a starting quarterback,
you get a starting quarterback for free. And if you're in Cleveland and you say, okay, we'll take him for free. Sure, we'll take him for a year. Pittsburgh, I don't think would be foolish enough to do that thing again. But if the the Aaron Rodgers thing falls through, maybe they would take him for a year, essentially for free. That's what the Saints are charged with right now. How can you? And you're probably going to have to do this after June 1st to mitigate the cap hit. But how can you fastest get this guy out of the building? How can you fastest get him off of your books? And it's going to be a long process. What is the fastest way to get him out of New Orleans, which he obviously wants out of New Orleans? And I can't think of anybody besides Mickey Loomis that wants him in New Orleans. Somebody that will take a starting quarter. Look, a lot of desperate teams for quarterbacks. And after you get through the draft, you're going to say,
he's damaged goods, though, Charlie.
So was Russell Wilson.
He was, but he was. I guess you take him for free. Yeah.
Somebody who's desperate and takes him for free. Somebody who's in desperate need of a quarterback might be, somebody that gets somebody hurt in training camp or something. I don't know.
If you did your homework too, man, you got to be watch your step. I mean, you make a couple of calls to Las Vegas and New Orleans and do some background, see what's going on. I mean,
it's no secret.
Geez. I mean, well, Wilson, they hated him at one stop, last year. But I mean, he was their starting quarterback. They gone. Yeah. He's gone. And who's their projected starting quarterback this year?
Yeah. So somebody will take a flyer on him for free. I mean, we've seen bad situations. I mean, Carson Wentz after he had gone through all of his stuff, still got another chance somewhere. And we've seen bad quarterbacks in bad situations
Yeah.
before. Somebody will sign him, but they got to get him out of New Orleans. I mean, as efficiently and quickly as you can, because he can't play for the Saints anymore. I mean, he just can't. You can't bring him back in the building now. I don't think. Yeah.
You better watch your percentages, 0%. You know what you're talking about, right? You just went out of your way to criticize how they run the organization again for the umpteenth time.
You make a point.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
and you're going to tell me there's
Yeah.
no chance he's going to come back? There's no chance.
I
Really.
shouldn't.
Really?
I
Okay.
shouldn't.
Well,
I
you
shouldn't.
stubborn.
I painted
You
myself.
got Saints fan in your blood.
Yes.
Because I've always said,
Yes, it's hard to have it cut
it's
out.
because their emotional attachment, emotion clouds your rationale. And man, sometimes they just can't see it, and the blind commitment. Well, you're gonna they suck, right? They're poorly run. Absolutely, you cancel your season tickets. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
Yeah,
no, I'm
right.
supporting them.
You're
No,
right.
I'm going.
When I say you have to get him out of the building, I'm not in power to do that.
There's a lot of things that Mickey Loomis had to do. Quote.
And did.
Had.
Yeah. No.
There's some things that Miss Gail has to do
on that,
and she's not doing it.
On that, you are absolutely correct. We did the station survey 2 months ago. What you should do? They should cut Derek Carr, go with draft a quarterback somewhere, not in the first round, but somewhere, or bring in a veteran and let the two that they've got go now, and basically reset. Okay? And they just refuse to do it.
And now, if they take Sanders, who people are having, beat writers are trying to gauge is people that have no interest in drafting a quarterback. The quarterback is so they don't care about what they say. Man, I can't find anybody who has a first round grade on him.
Yeah.
So he ain't. This is one where they have to take the best available. Right. That's what it is. But just don't take this guy. Who was your guy that you didn't want to? Was it a tackle?
Shamar Stewart, from Texas A&M. The guy that gets one sack a year.
Well,
but he looks great in the uniform.
Shedeur Sanders ain't and the best available.
He would be. Sure. I will say this about Sanders: before the draft, during the draft, and after the draft, regardless of where he goes, he is a huge risk. Could he be a good starting quarterback in the NFL? Possibly. He would be I'm not saying he can't play, but I would not take him at 9, and he would be a huge risk. Now, it would inject some life, but it would be a huge risk to take him at number 9. That's my pick. I think you should take the best, and there's plenty of guys up there. Plenty pass rushers, offensive linemen. Tyler Warren, the tight end, would be a good pick. Will Howard, the cornerback. There's other things that they could do that would be safer. Sanders would be a huge risk.
Until they get the guy out the bin, they're not going to. You ever watch a Cowboys fan, and you say how they get excited, and then it's a year after, and now they have the longest drought. Conference championship game
in the NFC.
To play in the championship game drought
in the NFC. Yeah.
How many times you gonna let Lucy pull the football? Snoopy or Lucy? Give my peanuts straight.
Lucy pulls the football from Charlie Brown. Yeah,
Charlie. One thing we ain't pulling the football on you over here. It's swimsuit season, Charlie. That's right. So the healthy bowls over here at Finbom are great because they are delicious. They are light. You're not weighed down for the rest of your day, and they are light. It's just really, really good stuff. And you can create your own. Regular comes with 3 scoops of protein. The large comes with 4 scoops of protein. You can make it with a combo side and a drink for a little extra dollars. You choose your base, whether it's greens or rice, the purple rice, the sushi rice, steamed white rice. You choose your protein, the tuna, the scallops, the grilled chicken, salmon, seared tuna, spicy tuna, surimi crab, tempura shrimp, tofu. Then you do the toppings, the cilantro, ginger, lemon, lime, red cabbage, edamame, green onion, kale, spinach, cucumber, jalapeno, pico de gallo, pineapple, mango, corn, bean sprouts. We go on and on. Do a little cream cheese if you want to. Sauce it up with all of our different sauces, from the bomb sauce I love. Got a nice kick to it. Poke sauce, the sriracha, wasabi, aioli, cucumber wasabi. You get the picture. I mean, there's so many ways to create these healthy bowls. They're really good. And it's just a win-win-win. Delicious, don't weigh you down, and it's healthy because you can't go to the beach Memorial Day weekend looking like that. You gotta be your best. Be at top of your shape. It's now. Now's the time, Charlie. Now's the time. Let's get ready for that beach weather.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on Wesley across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Have you been arrested or even issued a traffic ticket? Everyone makes mistakes. Hi, I'm Dana Brown from the law offices of O.C. Brown. If you find yourself in an unfortunate situation with the law, call us today and we can help you resolve your problem, whether it's just a traffic matter or something more serious. No criminal matter is too big or too small for us to aggressively and effectively represent you. Before making any decisions, call us at 225-343-1111 for your free consultation. You can also visit us at ocbrown.com. The law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Segan, near Perkins.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Ruffino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Ruffino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit ruffinosrestaurant.com. Ruffino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
The Grand Bayou Casino, conveniently located off I-10 at exit 139 in Gross-Ted, offers the latest video poker machines 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Got a great staff at the Grand Bayou Casino. Our inviting staff will greet you with complimentary coffee and sodas as you enjoy listening to the curated tunes in our comfortable seating. Make the trip to the Grand Bayou Casino, where players are welcome. The Grand Bayou Casino, I-10 at the Gross-Ted exit. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-877-770-STOP. The Grand Bayou Casino.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And today's show brought to you also in part by Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are the same. So Coastal Capital Advisors work with you. Doesn't matter where you are in life. Doesn't matter what your income is or your age. They'll tailor make a plan specifically for you and your family so you can achieve those financial goals. I know because that's what they have done for me for a long time. So let Coastal Capital Advisors work with you as well as your business partners and your legal team, tax professionals, to make sure all your goals are achieved. Contact Philip Fontenot, 337-981-1376, and also at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, member FINRA, SIPC. LSU baseball bounced back from a rough weekend at Auburn with a 10-3 win over a really good McNeese team, by the way. Justin Hill may very well have a tournament team, former LSU pitcher down at McNeese. They were 26-5 going into last night. They used last night's game as a prep game. They were going to throw a pitcher an inning, and that's pretty much what they did. They threw 9 different guys last night. For LSU, they just needed to bounce back after 7 games on the road to come home. Jay Johnson shook up the top of the lineup. This is, I said earlier, this is a slump, right? So what do you do with a slump? When you got players that you need to replace, that's one thing, okay? But when you've got good hitters and you've got the guys that you want in the lineup and they're just slumping, what do? You change things up a little bit, and that's what he did last night, a little bit. Move Curiel from 1 to 2, Jones from 2 to 3, Dickinson from 3 to 1, and lo and behold, the 3 of them had 5 hits. Yes, I understand. They were playing McNeese, who was running a lot of pitchers out there, instead of Auburn, who was all juiced up for the weekend. But I'm here to tell you that sometimes when you just get a little bit of confidence back, when you start to break out of a slump, none of that stuff matters. So just changing it up, I appreciated what Johnson did. Doesn't look like much. It's the same 3 guys in the top 3 spots. Just change things up a little bit. See if it works. It helped last night. William Schmidt threw 3 strong innings, ran into problems in the 4th. This has been a theme for him of late, and I think it's part of his maturity as a pitcher. And he's just, got to continue to pitch. I know it's a boring take on it, but right now Schmidt's a freshman pitcher that's still kind of feeling his way. And I'm impressed by the fact that he's come out strong the last few outings, and then he gets into the second time through the lineup and things. It seems like he gets a little bit more uncomfortable, maybe a little bit fatigued. I didn't think it was a bad outing last night. It was really good for 3, and then he ran into problems in the 4th. Maverick Rizzi, I thought, another freshman who is feeling his way, I thought had a terrific outing last night. He hit the first batter that he faced, but after that he struck out 6 and 2 2/3. And look, it's a 6'9" guy that throws a 98-mile-an-hour fastball. I can find a use for him. I continue to hope for his development on SEC weekends out of the bullpen. Maybe as a short relief guy, maybe as a 1-inning guy, maybe as a get you out of the inning guy. But I like Maverick Rizzi an awful lot. The bigger news came after the game when Jay Johnson announced that Gavin Guidry will have surgery on Friday and will miss the rest of the season. He hasn't pitched at all this year. A key cog in LSU's bullpen the last 2 years. Guidry was expected to be the closer this year, but right at the beginning of the season, a back injury kind of flared up on him. He was supposed to start that Nichols game that got canceled. They got postponed. He ended up going on the shelf for a while. They brought him to Texas. He threw a bullpen there. They were trying to build his stamina back up, and they were medicating him for the back injury. Johnson said that what they found was that the medication was masking the pain and not fixing the problem. So they're going to do that this Friday. It's going to be about a 3 to 4 month recovery for Guidry. They hope to have him pitching in the fall, but he's not going to pitch this season for LSU. Not totally unexpected. The longer this thing lingered, the more you thought that this was a possibility. It's a back injury. They're tricky. And he was running out of time that he was going to be able to ramp up and help him in the postseason. So get it fixed, and hopefully he will be back in the fall. LSU wins the game by a score of 10-3, and they'll face Alabama tomorrow night at the box. Alabama, the last 2 Friday nights, have lost by a combined score of 23-3. So they've been shaky in series openers. LSU will be a strong favorite tomorrow night at the box.
LSU, we know the rankings around 8 or 9 after being swept in Auburn, but their official NCAA.com RPI is right there as well at 9. So we know about that all-important top 8 national seed. So they from here on out, will certainly decide whether they get that national seed or not.
Top 5 in the RPIs are all SEC teams, 7 of the top 9 and 8 of the top 11.
How about Auburn in the top number 4 now, ahead of Tennessee? I wouldn't take Auburn in a series against Tennessee at any point.
I would not. But they've got some good wins. They got the 3 wins against LSU are good. The 2 wins against Vandy are good. The 2 wins against Alabama are good. So there's some meat on the bone of the Auburn resume.
Chad Reynolds Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060. Full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services. What you get when you dial 296-0060. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title. 296-0060.
Live at Finbom. Live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Text Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
This is Charles Henniger for Home Bank. Grow your nest egg savings with a great CD rate from Home Bank. For a limited time, you can earn 4.25% annual percentage yield, and you get to choose the term. Pick 3, 7, or 11 months and get this excellent return on your savings. The minimum balance is only $2,500. It really is that simple. Stop by any South Louisiana Home Bank location and speak with a local banker today. Good for business, good for life. Home Bank, member FDIC.
Now, everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis' original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
The new go-to pizza joint in downtown Baton Rouge is Town Square Pizza. Town Square Pizza, located on North Boulevard across from the courthouse, is the perfect in-and-out destination when grabbing a quick workday lunch or visiting local attractions on the weekend. Town Square Pizza, you guessed it, square pizzas are consistently flavored and cooked perfectly every single time. It's as simple as that. Town Square Pizza, downtown next to Jolie Pearl. Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. big dog out.
Boom! Out of nowhere.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
Saints make it official, by the way, with Joe Dumars since we started this show.
Pelicans.
Yeah, Pelicans, sorry.
Saints on your mind, boy.
They all blend together these days. I'm sorry. You're right.
Big dog, how you doing, Randy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? Was a big trip to France there.
Man.
Of course, you guys know some French, being from the
The French Riviera is not a bad spot. Little Nice, little Monte Carlo, Monaco, Antibes. Yeah, I mean, pretty damn nice. I have to say, and a little tennis mixed in as well. How was San Antonio, man? How was the Final Four?
Yeah, it was a good time. A lot of good games, a lot of good atmosphere down there. Good time with the group. San Antonio never really disappoints. It's always a pretty nice city. So enjoyed their time. Got to see some really good basketball.
Not bad. Little Riverwalk area is kind of the epicenter of entertainment, activity, all kinds of coaches and, in town for the NABC and all the fans. So, and man, the games, were they good, or are they just really exciting? Or, I mean, a 9-point second half lead was mild with the Auburn Florida game compared to the other two, and I just never saw Houston coming back against Duke, and I really didn't give Florida much of a chance to come back against Houston either. But man, did it treat you right or not?
That treated me okay. It didn't treat me totally right. Would have been a little bit better if Auburn would have won for me instead of Florida in that first game there. And fortunately, that one didn't work out. But otherwise, it was a good Final Four. Decent. And the Frozen Four, which we didn't talk about too much, that went real well for me.
You did. I was wondering, how it went. Who won? Did Denver win again? Who won?
Western Michigan ended up winning.
Okay.
And like I said, that was I figured that would be the championship game when them two played each other, and then they took care of Boston in the championship game pretty easily. So it was a good Frozen Four as well.
Penn State just fortunate to get there, huh? With their overtime win, being the first trip that they ever had there.
Yeah, the Big Ten, very overrated in hockey.
Okay.
They're like number 4 in the hockey rankings, but for some reason the odds makers always make them a favorite every year. And since the realignment, they have not won a Frozen Four. So every year they seem like they're overrated and never produce.
Branding, man, branding. They know who Michigan and Michigan State is a lot more than say Denver University. So I mean, it's about branding at all sports. And so, hey, so where are you at right now with your draft stuff? And also, we're going to ask your opinion. Are you paying attention to some of the news coming out of the Saints camp?
Yeah, it sounds like I don't know, this Derek Carr thing with the shoulder there isn't going so well. So maybe to have a quarterback fall into him there at their pick. So wait and see what happens. As far as the draft stuff, I'm waiting for the sports books. So far, not too much out there as far as options to bet. I'm going to be in the state of Nevada here next few days or next week or so. So maybe I'll have a little bit more options there, and I can always run to Arizona and bet the apps. But so far, not very many players in position and not too many options. You can maybe look at only 2 quarterbacks being taken. I can see getting a nice plus there if 3 don't go. If Jackson Dart doesn't go in the first round, or somebody else. But that's a big minus. But I think you could get a big plus there if they all fall down to the second round. So that might be one I'd look at.
I looked at plus 250 on under 2.5 quarterbacks taken. I think that, and we always talk about that. Everybody reaches to get, but the under that over under for quarterbacks taken, it's been an under. The under has been the profitable one, where maybe it's because we kind of think that the quarterbacks are it went over last year. It did go over last year. So that's something to keep in mind.
We know that Shadir Sanders is going to go in the first round now to the Saints or whatever. So that's two. This is basically about two players. This is about Jackson Dart and Tyler Shugg out of Louisville. And the attraction is to trade up into the back end of the first round if you're, let's say Cleveland, okay? Because you get that extra year on the quarterback's rookie contract. So that if you're looking at quarterback numbers, that's basically the two players you're looking at. Are either one or both of those two players going to get into the back end of the first round, or even the middle of the first round for teams trading back up?
Randy?
Yeah, definitely, and that's the way I'd look at it too. And that, I'm also looking at too, like a lot of these teams are, sure they don't want to play for next year, but you got Arch Manning probably coming out next year, and he's probably better than all of them that are going to get drafted this year. So let's see what happens.
Randy, I've heard that a lot. The Manning family has a history of being very patient and not ready to rush out of the college scene. I'm sure there's going to get, if somebody gives him some honest feedback. I mean, more reps help you, right, Charlie?
Yes.
Okay, so he would have one season of starting and going into the NFL.
Yeah.
I mean, they all seem to, value a college education. I mean, he's going to be compensated if he's. I'm not so sure, Randy, that he's going to be available in the draft next year. Although he would be the clear number one, and I can't see where anybody would pass him up.
It's not a slam dunk. He could take another year. He likes it at Texas. He's been offered the moon to leave Texas, and he stayed there. Peyton stayed for an extra year of college when he would have been the number one pick the year before. The money is there. The money would
Eli
be there.
Stayed his 4 years,
huh? Yeah, Eli same thing.
Years.
Yeah. I'm not certain Eli would have been the first pick after his junior year. Probably Peyton certainly would have been,
but he
stayed all 4 years. Right, he could have come out. So yeah, there's a lot of evidence that he could. So it would not be the biggest shock if he went back to Texas. Randy, there's tougher things to do than be the big man on campus at the University of Texas. I mean, and are they not recruiting? Do they not have the budget for player budget? I mean, they just went the only team to go to the last two playoffs. I mean, is their booster base excited about contributing to their player budget? Yeah. I mean, everything is working. Stable coaching situation.
Everything is working their way, and he's already waited. It's 2 years now. Is it 2 seasons?
Yeah.
So he's. Everybody's talking about that. That is not a sure thing, Randy, in our opinion.
Yeah, I mean it's all good points, but as a GM, you kind of look ahead and like the Giants are in a tough position here. Do they take a quarterback when the GM and coach are probably on the hot seat, and do they want to keep their jobs or they want to play for the future? I mean, it's all tough stuff to figure out. So with him, you never know. And like you guys make good points about the Manning family.
You're going to be restricted in Nevada more than outside of Nevada. So you know how that goes. They don't like it. They shut down the window 24 hours before the first pick, and that's it. It's done. And not even thinking about any type of live, in-draft wagering and things like that. So, Randy, you might have to get across the border for the because right now this is kind of, correct me if I'm wrong. This seems like it's kind of harder this year, but man, we always during the draft we find some that kind of it seems like some information gets out, and man, we just pop on them before the odds get really out of hand.
Yeah, and hopefully we can find another Joe Alt to the LA Chargers like we did last year. That was one of my more profitable ones I remember last year. And of course, like I discussed with Charlie and Max last week, this Zabel from North Dakota State looks like a pretty good one. I'm waiting on the draft position for him to come out. And I definitely think, he's drawing a lot of attention as far as being a guard. And now Miami's even talking about drafting an offensive lineman of some sort. So if you want a little tip there.
Who is that now?
Any kind of offense.
His name's
Miami?
Gray's. Yeah.
No, I already took Miami to take an offensive lineman. Even if Campbell or the other guy doesn't slip to him, I mean the numbers are there with Tua. I mean they're 625 winning percentage with him. They're 350 winning percentage without him.
At 13, Mimbu or Campbell's not going to get to him, but I'll tell you who fits is Kelvin Banks from Texas. That's right about where he's supposed to go. He's the next best lineman on the board.
But we 40 and 24 as Tua. We know him to give him the money. The ownership, we knew the owner was committed to him. They believed in him where he was going to get that long-term deal. But without him, 7-13, and it's an ugly 7-13 sometimes too with some of the guys that they put back there. So Armstead's gone. So I mean, even if one of those two, and Will Campbell's now minus considerable money to go number 4 to New England, minus 225. At the local shop, the Queen here, the DraftKings outlet. So yeah, I believe in that one. Another one that I believe, and we had Harbaugh last year. We know how he's going to build. He was going to take that lineman last year. We not so sure. I do know about an impulsive guy, and we know about Mr. Sean Payton, and I just can't figure out which one it's going to be, Randy. But it's going to be a running back or a tight end in Denver. I'm just trying to figure out which one.
I'll tell you who the
running back for North Carolina, if he's available.
Hampton, yeah, they would love to have him slide down to that part.
So he was plus 140, or running back is plus 140.
Yeah, Marion Hampton will be the second back off the board after Ashton Genty, and if he gets to 20, I would be surprised
but if he's not there.
If he's not there, I don't know if there's another running back that works in the first round. I don't know that Colston
He's going to take a tight end then.
Colston Loveland, the second tight end off the board from Michigan, I don't think is going to be there at 20, but might be. Tyler Warren certainly won't be. The next best tight end is Loveland. The next best tight end after that,
okay,
I don't know that goes in the first round.
Guess what? If he's got those two guys circled, if one of them goes off the board, he's going to move up.
the third best tight end on the board is Mason Taylor, and I don't think he's not.
That's a little high.
That's high for him.
That's a little high.
Yeah,
that's a little high, but we'll have to see about that, Randy. So talked to Brandon Stokely earlier this week, and he said tight end or running back for sure.
Yeah, it makes sense. You guys know Sean Payton, better than anybody probably on there. So definitely look at that. And of course, Brandon Stokely knows a lot, and it's going to be an interesting draft coming up. And then we also got the best playoffs in sports coming up here in a couple of days too. So I'm looking
the hockey, yes. So explain to me, Randy, what's the playoff structure in the West? Is it going to be the Avalanche in matched up with like the Oilers or something?
Break zone.
No, the Avalanche are matched up against Dallas.
Oh, Dallas, yes.
Edmonton's against the LA Kings.
But Dallas and the Avalanche, they're like second and third to win the to win the West. Why are they matched up? I mean, they're just disappointing seasons right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way the hockey playoffs do it now is sometimes the better teams get matched up against each other. They're the second and third team in the West, so they play each other. Vegas gets to play the lower team, which they play the number 7th ranked team, Minnesota, which is the second wild card or the first wild card team, and Winnipeg gets to play the lowest team because they have the best record, St. Louis. So that's how the NHL playoffs are nowadays. So unfortunately, you get some pretty good first round matchups there with Colorado versus Dallas.
Charlie, think about that. Dallas is the favorite to win the West, to win the conference. Avalanche is just behind Florida as the third choice, and they play in the first round in a bracket of 16.
Yeah,
that is odd. That is
aggravated coaches. I'm
Follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. Big dog. Good to hear your voice again, man. We'll get some draft picks from you next week for sure.
Yeah, awesome. I'll have more next week because I'm going to shop around and then probably go down to Arizona. So I have something for you there. And of course, I might even go to a couple of the Vegas Knights opening games, so I'll let you guys know about that too.
Thank you, Randy.
All right. Good luck, everybody out there.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee is the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. A personal favorite. Love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. A couple of great spots. Highland Coffees and Louis Cafe just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Haniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Get Moss Max and less tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and dip trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, 4 cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
Congratulations are in order for one of my favorite places to eat, Snow's Seafood and Steaks, celebrating its 50th anniversary. That's right, since 1971, Snow's has been serving a wide assortment of menu items to please everyone. Steaks, seafood, gumbo, homemade soup, salad, specialty cocktails, great wine selection, and oh yes, the best white chocolate bread pudding that you'll find anywhere. It's the total dining experience. Happy 50th anniversary to my friends at Snow's Seafood and Steak, Airline Highway at Highway 74 in Gonzales. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with a sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge. Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Finbom Live at Lunch, here's a statement from Gail Benson about the hiring of Joe Dumars. Joe was somebody I was very familiar with, having dealt with him over the past few years at league meetings. My decision today was not hastily made, not without spending valuable time talking to players, coaches, and league officials.
Defensive, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Because the criticism is that they did not do a full search; that they hired somebody.
I
that
think,
was
I
one
think
of
they
their
thought
friends.
this out for a while, and they did it up. And
obviously, they did because
yeah.
they didn't broach this after they fired
No, right,
David Griffin on Monday
right,
morning.
right.
So yeah, I mean, is he the right guy? I don't know, but
it's not. Look, this. I'm just trying to be fair. It's not terrible to make sure you have a replacement that you feel is an improvement until before you fire the guy.
Willie Green staying, Zion Williamson going. That's the early read. Is it going to play out that way?
10.
That'll be fascinating to watch. Hour number 2 from Finbom, Sushi Burrito, Poke Ramen, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ottenhanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lagniappe on Perkins and Blue Bonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street to now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Patiel at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road, near Starring since 1988.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on West Lee across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
Now that it's cooler outside, this is the perfect time of year to get new windows, doors, and siding by calling me, Tommy, from Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. So set up your free quote today at gotommys.com. That's GEAUX Tommys.com.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers, LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Back here at Finbom, live at lunch, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen, and a whole lot more, man. You can build so many different options here at Finbom, Jimmy. When you come in here, I mean, you talk about a wide variety, and they'll bring the ingredients. You build what you like. You build
do
a lot of
the
different stuff.
sushi burritos. If you've never been here before, I would kind of just kind of find the one that you might like the best, whether it is one of the 7 different specialty sushi burritos that they roll up. They can do, you have different options of the rice and stuff like that. And then poke bowls. Get one of the specialty poke bowls, and then I would kind of navigate from there. You like this, you didn't like this. I want a little bit more of this or whatever. I want a little bit more spice and stuff like that. But I would start off with the specialties, and so Charlie, I like the rainbow, and that's with the eye tuna, salmon, surimi crab, avocado, cucumber, green onion, seaweed salad, tobiko, wonton strips, and the unagi sauce. But I also have a little bit of poke sauce on the side as well, and I add fresh jalapenos. So I like a little spice to mine, Charlie.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
And as far as the sushi burrito, the F-bomb.
The F-bomb?
Yeah, it's Finbom.
Yeah, all right, I got it.
It's the F-bomb. Yes. Get your mind out the cutter, boy.
Right.
But yes, I would. The hookup is good too. Spicy tuna, surimi crab, tempura shrimp. I think that's one that you get. With the cucumber, guacamole, on wonton strips, sweet chipotle mayo, and the unagi sauce. So it's just kind of what you want, but you can also create your own healthy bowls as well, which is I'm kind of figuring out what I'm doing with mine right now as I speak, Charlie.
Oh, we got to do a little bit more show, and then I'll let you have.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you have
All
lunch.
right.
All right. This story is going to absolutely shock you. Okay. This report.
Okay.
I got a report.
All right, because
absolutely,
ain't nothing that's happened today. It shocked me.
This is going.
Saints are incompetent. Okay.
This is going to
cars a piece of
Yeah. Okay. And by the way, there's a few more national stories that are coming up. But it's all the same stuff. He wants out of New Orleans. No kidding. Okay.
Yeah.
Has he officially requested a trade? That hasn't come out yet. But does he want out?
He needs to shut up. He's really hurting himself.
And I don't know what he's saying.
He's really hurting himself.
Yeah, just
if he's faking an injury, that's just bad.
Okay. I'm gonna take.
Come on, please shot me.
I'm gonna take a poll. The most unpopular quarterback in the United States of America at any level today, is it Derek Carr?
No, it's your boy from Tennessee,
Nico Iamaleava.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there is a report out now that he has put in the transfer portal "do not contact" on his little thing, which basically means, hey, I've already got a deal. I'm just working out the particulars. I don't want to be recruited. I know where I'm going, or I've got it narrowed down to a couple of schools. So don't call me. I'll call you if I'm interested. Okay.
You think he gets a raise?
Well, that's what I'm going to shock you with. The school that appears to be zeroing in on an offer for him is UCLA. And the offer, according to this report, is nowhere near the money that he was guaranteed at Tennessee last year, which was, according to the reports, $2.4 million. I know this absolutely shocks you given what you...
it's sarcasm. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
No, I know. I didn't prep you for the second.
You're playing your poker face there, because because if you're going to tell me, no, UCLA isn't... I'm like... I am shocked.
Yeah. Right. It's total sarcasm, because when we talked about the schools that might want him, USC, UCLA, Maryland, North Carolina, it was, well, if he goes to UCLA,
Yeah.
It ain't going to be for more
Right,
money.
right. There's no doubt.
And it's not. You're not only leaving a Southeastern Conference team, which the Southeastern Conference and the Big Ten have the most money by far. You're leaving one of the most a top half of the SEC spending program. Would you say Tennessee's in the top 8 spending NIL?
Yes.
Okay. Because when we did the mark down the middle,
they had a
it
plan.
was Tennessee going to be a have or a have not? Well, they decided that they're going to spend. They're going to be a have.
Well, no. I've always put them as a have. It's just because they have been so bad. They were so bad for so long on the field that. And part of them is, when it is Bama's heyday, they had that's an L right out the chute every year.
Yeah.
And but they just had to get some sort of level of excitement, some sorts of excitement to get it out of them. And they got that now. I mean, they made it to the expanded playoff one year. I mean, it's not, but it's just a little something. There's a lot of comparisons between LSU and Tennessee, It's not the recent history.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly the last 3 coaches didn't win national championships, okay? But
Tennessee
I'm
was
talking about the
cycling through
fan
bad
base.
coaches.
I mean,
Yeah.
that fan base, I mean, that numbers they have. Charlie, did you see what they did at the Horseshoe? That is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And that didn't. And then you say, hey, yeah, they just freed up 50,000 that you could buy through the Tennessee website. No, they had to jump through a little hoop. They had to get it done, and man, they embarrassed them with the fans that they brought. So they've been dying. They've just been a sleeping giant, but they have some history, and they've always been near a top 10 budget, always athletically and football. So they're a big operation. It's been so bad on the field. We're talking about scheduling. Are they one of the top half or bottom half with Texas and Oklahoma coming in who've been better on the field in them, the last 10, 15, 20 years, whatever.
And they cycled through a number of bad coaches, but they made a commitment at the start of the NIL era across the board, okay? Tennessee basketball is light years better than it was 10 years ago. Okay.
Yes.
Tennessee baseball is 10 times light years better than they were 10 years ago.
Well,
5 years ago.
It's easier in that sport.
Correct. And you got the right coach. Okay. You didn't have just because you go spend money doesn't mean you're going to get the right coach. But
they throw a parade when they want it.
They did. And now you're seeing them spend the money in football. So to leave there, you better be damn sure. Now, it's not unprecedented. We saw a starting quarterback in the SEC leave for a non-SEC school and I guess get more money. Did Carson Beck get more money from Miami than he got from Georgia?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and Miami's budget is not Georgia's, right?
Miami is kind of the extreme on this deal. They got a few guys that really got some heavy dollars in that area and that are willing to just, hey, yeah, you can have it. But use it on the quarterback. I mean, they have overspent for some. They've kind of made it a little bit of a habit to overspend. So instead of flattening it out, where hey man, mix in some of that money with some interior linemen and some defensive players. I mean, that defense was a joke last year.
It was
a joke.
So you find a team that's willing to overspend on a quarterback that has some money. UCLA would be pretty far down my list.
Charlie, but he's from Long Beach. He's going back home.
Okay,
he's going back home.
Fine.
So I mean, USC or UCLA, maybe his best path to playing time is UCLA. We'll take what they can afford, and he's gotten beat up pretty good. He overplayed his hand. But like I'm telling you, how many guys? This can't be the only guy that how many got paid before the playoff? How many times did the university, man, we got to find, man, he talking about not even playing. We got to find some money for this guy. I mean, I can't believe that this is just one little isolated incident that this was happening at Tennessee.
No, but his situation is so unique because they've been paying him since he was in high school. And the deal was in place, a 4-year deal that started paying him when he was in high school all the way through what they thought would be a 3-year college career. And I think his pro stock has dipped drastically. And not just this week. I'm talking about after the season. Because the season was okay, but it was nothing. So you break down his numbers and you yank out the Vanderbilt numbers and the rental win numbers. Against the good teams, it ain't anything special.
Charlie, your eyeballs. He can't throw the ball real good. He is, and I was a little surprised, but they thought they had him. Other coaches thought he was the perfect guy. I read, but now they got the perfect guy for his system. Heupel, how many times is he? I mean, Central Florida, Tennessee. How many times they throw the ball a game? 35. I mean, it's up there, huh? I mean, it's on the high end in the league. They didn't throw it last year. That's because they were.
Now, Samson scored all the touchdowns,
and they didn't just don't make a mistake because we trust our defense and we're going to lean on our running game. No, man, they didn't let him play. The part of how much is it now? How much part of it is they didn't really like him either. It's one thing for him to hold out, saying, "Man, I signed up for 12 games. You owe me 13. I got some leverage here. We're going to you got to have your starting quarterback for the game."
Yeah.
And how much is trying to rally other guys to follow you with this BS as well. And listen, the players, you can't fault the players for maximizing their deal, but there are ways to handle it, and there are time periods to handle it where you're compromising the team and you're affecting the culture of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Those NFL scouts, they find things you don't know what they find. They definitely finding this out.
Oh,
100%. And that hurts your stock long term.
Absolutely.
Yes, man. You're just worried about your hand over instead of being, and that's where I think the players are misguided. Forget the damn the I don't know how they went to almost bogus, college degree. Getting all the player-friendly professors just to skate you through. Yeah, I got my degree. Okay, but you can't really speak. I mean, come on, man. I mean, you sure doesn't sound like you put a whole lot of time in the classroom. But anyway, it's about the guys that are really good that can make the most money. They have so much more at stake with their pro stock.
Well,
so much more. And how many? If you don't think that there's a layer of personnel in these NFL organizations that are sifting through not just your speed, your measurables, your instincts, your production, but how are you handling it? Are you worried about more of this stuff, or you focused on football? It's a big part of it.
It's a huge part of it. And right this second, I'd almost tell him, you probably should have stayed where you were for no other reason than to get the money that you're going to get now, because I think your draft stock was falling after the season, even before this. I don't know if you heard this as much as I did, going into the season, what was the quarterback that he was most compared to? At least I heard this a bunch. Okay. And it's mostly because of his height and his stride that I think he was compared to him, because he's 6'6".
He's a little bit like your boy from Alabama to me. He's a runner. He's a runner with a highly erratic arm.
You're going to laugh when I tell you who he's been compared to the most, because Milroe's what 5 inches shorter than him. At 6'6" and 240 pounds or whatever he is, and running a 4.7, and he's got the big arm. He was compared to Justin Herbert. And to me, he's nowhere near Justin. Well, going into the season, that's what you never heard that? I heard that a bunch. That he looks like Justin Herbert in the uniform, the physical size and the stride and all that stuff. And it's like, man, he may look like him getting off the bus, but that's where the comparisons end.
He is a similar athlete. He is nowhere near a thrower.
I agree.
But I could say that. He's a similar athlete.
Getting off the bus, they look similar.
Herbert can really run, dude. He can fly. He's quicker than a 4.7, man. He's 4.5 and change. I'm going to have to look up what he ran in the combine, but he was.
And Nico ran about a 4.7, I think, is the last time he was clocked. He runs well.
Harbert ain't no 4.7.
No, he runs well, but he's no speed merchant.
I think they were talking about it. Even Corso was one of his great. Was it Musburger? Who was it? Man, they were just. Thought he might be the number one pick. They're doing that Oregon Stanford game and stuff like that. And they talk about he's the fastest guy on the team.
He was.
He's the fastest guy on the team at 6'6", 6'7". I'll be like, golly.
And they didn't let him run as much. At Oregon,
playing quarterback, shouldn't your throwing evaluation be your biggest comp? Huh? That's where we are, huh?
That would be mine.
Don't forget our friends at Workbox. Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, home, on the work site, commercial, residential. Our shipping containers, all different sizes and can be customized any type of way. You will need a lunchroom for your workers. You need an office, on-site office. You need a hunting facility. You need a work site for plumbers, for welders. I mean, you can split it up, part office, part storage. You want air conditioning? No problem. Climate control, we can handle that. Shelving, lighting, any type of different materials that you want or you desire. Give my buddy Martin Padial and Workbox a call at 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Now everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road since 1988. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games in a casual atmosphere with the friendliest service. Right now, we're boiling crawfish 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, first batch comes out at 5 p.m. Weekends at noon. Sammy serves a wide mix of authentic Louisiana food prepared to order with the best ingredients available. Fresh Louisiana seafood, Cajun favorites, burgers, and po' boys, all built from scratch. Our kids' menu and popular appetizers are sure to please the pickiest of eaters. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road near Starring since 1988. By now, you know that we do our show every other Tuesday at the Crown Town Room at Doe's Eat Place. The Crown Town Room is ideal for larger groups, or if you just want to watch the game on one of our 3 large TVs. The tamales are the most popular appetizer, but don't forget the seared tuna with the sriracha glaze for the perfect blend of sweet and spicy. You can't go wrong also with the flash fried oysters or the shrimp. The porterhouse is the perfect steak to share. Strip on one side, filet on the other, prepared at different temps if you like, bone in to maximize flavor. Doe's Eat Place on Government Street, just off Acadian in the heart of Mid-City.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors. When it comes to retirement, no two situations are alike, so Coastal Capital Advisors will tailor a plan for your family's needs, no matter your age or your financial situation. The bottom line is Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you and build a lifetime relationship. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Age Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111 and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance and Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Louisiana Lanyap on Perkins and Bluebonnet. Winner of the most 225's Best of Awards. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee. And Phil's Oyster Bar since 1950 on Government Street and now in the South Downs Shopping Center.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
From east, north to south, but we're heading west. It's Wes Reynolds from VSiN.
Wes, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Jimmy. How are you?
Doing good, man. Well, what did you think of the Masters? I mean, a little bit of everything. So, but compelling television for sure.
Yeah, it did have a little bit of everything. I never thought when I got in on McIlroy and I did it after the front nine, I got 4-1 because I had seen enough. I'm like, I'm not going to miss out when he finally wins this thing. So it was almost like a FOMO, like a fear of missing out play. And I bet it live 4-1. And then what does he do? He makes 2 double bogeys on Thursday. And then I could have got 12-1. So I mistimed the whole damn thing. But, had to sweat out that 4-1, man. When everybody saw it, when he was up 5 shots, I kept seeing the memes on Twitter, the Vince Carter at the dunk contest. It's over. It's over. I'm like, it's not over. This is Rory McIlroy. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be something that's going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be fucking an 86-yard wedge into the water. But it did. And, he eventually goes into the playoffs. He finally lays up. He makes a prudent decision to lay up with the big lead. And then it's well, that's why he didn't lay up, because he chunked the wedge into the water. But, yeah, it had so much drama. I think probably, and I was asked about this in a couple other interviews, Jimmy, where would you rank this? It certainly would be in the top 5 all time for major championships if you go all the way back to Jack in 1986. If that's your cutoff point. That was up there. Of course, Tiger winning in 2019 when he came out of that big pack that was all tied for the lead. Watson against Stewart Cink at Turnberry at the 09 Open. Yeah, this is one of the greatest ever. And Rory McIlroy finally, the 11th time is a charm. He clears it. He wins the career Grand Slam. He at least at the bare minimum becomes the best European player ever. And we'll see, where he goes from here. What's his new benchmark now?
So what hole was that where and which makes it more inexplicable that he actually laid up and he still dunked
13.
It was 13. So after 4, where he gave up 3 strokes in the first 2 holes, he gains 4 on 3 and 4, but from 4 to 13, I mean, he wides the lead from 3 to 4 strokes. I mean, it looked like it was cruising. I mean, it was. Maybe he wasn't scoring great, or hitting every green and every fairway, but the damn lead wasn't going anywhere. It only widened a little bit. Now, which gets to our point, we kind of had a little discussion earlier this week. DeChambeau. Now, DeChambeau coming off, with his new bubbly personality with the patrons, and after he drains the long putt and he's secures the final pairing with Rory. He pulls within 2, and then again, why was he not more clutch in this round? Some say maybe the Masters is a different level of pressure.
There's a little bit of that, I think. Plus, if you really looked at the numbers going in throughout the tournament and then into Sunday, he didn't hit the ball as well as Rory did. Nobody hit the ball better than Rory. Rory ended up being number 1 on strokes gained approach, and we know Rory much better usually off the tee than he is with the irons. And it's if he's going to be good with the irons, then he's the guy to beat. Bryson, I think, got a lot of his game going with the around the green stuff, and no more was that more evident than on 18 where he was 45 feet and just off the green and putted that in. He was gaining a lot of strokes with the putter and gaining around the green, but he wasn't necessarily hitting it as well as Rory was. Nobody was hitting it as well. And I think maybe the pressure got to Bryson too, because remember when Bryson won the U.S. Open? Yeah, he was right in the mix, and and he was in that final group, but he had to come from behind, or Rory had to give it to him and let him back in the thing, which he eventually did. But Bryson, I think, when you're not week to week playing that kind of pressure and in some of these live events, and you're not dealing with that, there's a little bit of an adjustment to take for that. And I think Bryson, maybe Rory got in Bryson's head this time. I don't think intentionally. I just think, he in the silent treatment, didn't really talk to him during the round, but Tiger never really did that either. And, for a long time, it seemed like Bryson was in Rory's head because of how long Bryson was hitting it. And Rory kind of became obsessed with that and let it get to him a bit. And now the shoe's on the other foot, and it certainly was on Sunday.
That was my read, that Bryson was getting his head. I mean, they remember history. I mean, remember the U.S. Open last year. And so, I mean, Rory choked. He choked. And that Bryson hit the big shot. I mean, he thought he could do it. And after here we go again. I mean, in double right out the chute. And then Rory spoke with his damn clubs. I mean, to come back and gain 2 strokes in the next 2 holes. I mean, that's all the saying you need. That's as intimidating as anything to punch back the way he did on holes 3 and 4. So it was good. It was good for golf, and I think it was good that. And I mean, nothing against Tiger Woods, but so many people still hold on. Well, it's not Tiger. I mean, even the sports books will tell you. Well, when Tiger's not, we get so much Tiger. I mean, he drives the ratings. He drives for golf to flourish without Tiger. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to me. So,
right. Yeah, because everybody is holding on to that, and it's like, it's over. It's over now. Like, I don't want to see him come back out there and just limp around and, be like the old fighter who doesn't have it anymore. So it's best to move on with this generation.
Go watch Joe Namath for the Rams, or O.J. Simpson with the 49ers, Emmitt Smith with the car. It's not. I watched Michael Jordan in person with the Wizards. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, just you can impact golf, and golf needs you. Lord knows golf needs you, your leadership right now, and so, but he can impact, especially besides that silly stuff on Monday and Tuesday night, that the fake, excitement.
Arena golf.
Yeah, arena golf. Just not my deal. Anyway, let's get to the RBC Heritage. Scotty Scheffler is the overwhelming favorite. Colin Morikawa, Xander Schauffele, and Aubert, the clumped up second, third, fourth choice after that, Wes.
Yeah, Scotty, of course, won this last year, defending champion, the week after the Masters, which is really impressive. And I like this RBC Heritage event in Hilton Head, and I always have liked it. I don't like that it's a signature event right after the Masters, because you feel like there's some guys that maybe don't want to be here that wouldn't be playing it if they didn't have this event. So, having that after that grind of the Masters, I don't typically like that, but I do like this event and had some success with it. But not going to start with Scotty Scheffler. Going to try one more with Colin Morikawa, who disappointed at the Masters. He was T14, was never really in it on the weekend. But if you look at the numbers, he was third overall for what they call strokes gained ball striking, and that's adding off the tee with approach. The 2 guys that were ahead of him were in the playoffs, Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose. And it seems like this would be a perfect course for Morikawa, because you don't really take driver as much off the tee. This is a less than driver course, a Pete Guy design, only 7,200 yards. A lot of dog legs here, so you can't really overpower this joint necessarily. So I think that would fit for Colin Morikawa. Also played Patrick Cantlay, who 2.5-year drought, and maybe that's karma for the fact that what I saw yesterday on the social, that he didn't sign the autograph for some young lad. So that Patrick Cantlay, being who Patrick Cantlay is, he's one of the heels, and that's his personality. But he's got a damn good record here. Third, second, missed 1 cut, third, seventh, and third. So really good on Pete Dye design, Patrick Cantlay. So we go from a guy that's kind of a heel to a guy that's kind of a nice guy. and that's Tommy Fleetwood at 33-1. We all saw Rory when he came off the 18th green. The first player to greet him was his ride or die, his Irishman, Shane Lowry, who gave him that big bear hug. And I considered Shane this week as well. I did not end up getting on him with the outright. But the next player that greeted him was one Tommy Fleetwood, who has his own albatross to kind of get off his back. Rory got the career Grand Slam off his back. Well, Tommy Fleetwood is still trying to win in America for the first time on the PGA Tour. He's got 7 DP World Tour wins, hasn't won here in the States, but with T21 last week at the Masters, but third behind Rory and Patrick Reed for a stroke gain tee to green. So maybe seeing his buddy, finally accomplish that milestone gives him a little bit of feel good, gives him a little bit of motivation. So Tommy Fleetwood, 33-1. Then the last two, Sungjae M at 40-1. I was down to him or Seth Straka. So hopefully I didn't pick the wrong 40-1 guy, but Sungjae was 5th at Augusta last week. Didn't really get a lot out of the ball striking either until Sunday's final round, but 4 pretty good finishes here at Harbor Town, 13, 21, 7, and 12. 3 top 5s this season. Has not won on the PGA Tour actually for about 3.5 years, even though he's won back in his home of South Korea each of the last 2 years. So Sungjae, I think, could really go well here at 40-1. And then Daniel Berger, 50-1, T21 last week at the Masters. I keep riding this guy because I think
He's not Florida. This is not Florida. It's South Carolina. Wes.
I know, but it's a short course. But it's a shorter course. And if you look, the 3 PGA Tour victories the guy's got: Southwind up at Memphis, where they have the FedEx St. Jude, Pebble Beach, Colonial, all shorter courses that are a little bit more technical, that cater to, I think, the more iron players and ball strikers. He was 6th for greens in regulation last week. So those are my 5. I didn't really go deep with any bombs. Considered a couple. Considered Tom Hoagie, who's really hitting his approaches very well. But those guys will probably be placement market guys that I play, like top 20, top 30.
There you go. Wes, trust me, I am kidding. I'm getting on you about your picks. But, I mean, I know that you were committed to him in the Florida swing earlier.
I like Tommy Fleetwood, too. He's a nice guy. He's a really good golfer. I feel compelled to speak for Max since he's out today.
Yeah.
Perennial loser. And he picks him.
Yes.
Perennial loser. God, it seems like he's always around there, though.
I've got the wheel of losers this week, man, with Cantlay, who hadn't won in a while, and Morikawa and Tommy. Sungjae. So maybe this is the breakthrough week, or maybe Scotty Scheffler just goes ahead and beats me again.
Well, didn't we just see a sort of a streak snapped, huh?
Yeah.
Last week. So, I mean, and if you're ever wondering about if he was carrying any of the pressure with him, I think he showed you that in his, dropped his knees. And then he told you that when he said, I've got a question first. What are we going to talk about next year?
Open the press conference.
He showed you and he told you, and I've got a feeling that, I don't like the staged emotion and stuff. I think that was some genuine stuff. And he showed you, he had the world. Wes, what would he have done if it was a 5-foot putt? I mean, or 6-foot putt, that he just missed. I mean, he put that thing where it was going to be tough to miss that one.
Yeah, it was all mental because we saw him hit some unbelievably good shots during that. I mean, they reminded me of Tiger, when I think it was 2011 when David Charity was doing the right at it, when he went right at it on that par 5 and put it to like 3 feet. And it's like, he can't lose with these kind of good shots. But now, we'll see how it goes for Rory. Is the pressure off? And now all of a sudden, hey, I can just relax and go play, and then I'm going to get a couple more majors in quick order? Or does eventually complacency set in where he's kind of content? He's like, you know what? I took 11 years to accomplish this. I accomplished it. So we'll see how it is. I tend to be the former. I tend to think he's got a little more fight left in him, and he's going to be very driven.
That it's an exhale, but is it something that he could just free swing now? Now he's had some he likes these courses too.
Quail Hollow and Oakmont. I mean, especially Quail Hollow.
It's won 4 times, by the way.
Yeah. In the British, so he can exhale there, or is he going on the like we saw Koepka at the hockey game. Is he in too much celebration, over celebration mode? So who knows how everybody handles success a little bit differently, but it'll be interesting. But he was the best golfer over the weekend. He deserved it. And I mean, he had some hiccups, but my goodness, he stroked the ball pretty damn. And one thing about it, when you watch the ball tracker. So when they hit a driver, if they don't even look, they just pick up their tee. That's a good sign. When Rory McIlroy starts pacing, quick walking behind his shot and his approach shot, that's a damn good thing. So, I mean, he's, on Saturday, was it 17 or 18? He hit one. He started walking right after it. Right. And then, of course, the last one as well. So, anyway, Wes, give me your thoughts on this before we get out of here. Your thoughts on this, the college football and the Tennessee quarterback and, this balancing act between the coaches and the players and all that, where we are.
Well, that's where I think we're trending to. And I think you're going to see more of a groundswell or an outcry of support in terms of maybe making these players and designating them as employees, as actual employees, where it's like, you know what, you sign a contract, but that means I can, because we know kids get put in the portal too. They don't just willingly go. But where you make it more official, where it's like, hey, I can fire you. I can let you go, because of all this money that is being dealt with now. With what is going on here. So I supported Josh Heupel in Tennessee for taking a stand. And look, now these players and these young men have bargaining power. Understand, hey, this is my number for me to come there. It's business now. It's total business now. They have to go to class to stay eligible, but let's be honest. It's total business. It's total pay for play. This is not name, image, and likeness, where it's like, okay, you can get paid for signing autographs at the local Italian restaurant for 2 hours and taking pictures. This is not name, image, and likeness. This is pay for play, and you're seeing it more and more. And it kind of sucks for fans. The program, you follow a kid from his freshman year to his senior year and see how he gets better. And you don't get that. You don't get to establish that relationship. Like, it's an entire new roster. Look at where I am with Indiana basketball.
Right.
New roster this year. So that's the way it's going to be. It's not. They're not going back.
Wes, great stuff as always, man. Appreciate it. Good luck this weekend in the RBC Heritage. We will talk to you next week.
You bet, fellas. Thanks for having me.
Don't forget our friends over at United Community Bank. Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Our great team of bankers, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, Prentice Wilkes, United Community Bank. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, including their newest branch right down the street at Burbank and Bluebonnet. We've been serving the people of South Louisiana for over 50 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Workbox can handle all of your movable storage needs, commercial and residential. Our shipping containers come in various sizes, 8x8, 8x10, 8x20, or even 8x40 feet. Not just one size. These units can be customized for any use. Custom lunchrooms, offices, work sites for plumbers or welders, dual purpose, part office, part storage, climate control, shelving, lighting, using different materials, whatever you need. Give my buddy Martin Padiella at Workbox a call at 343-4886, 343-4886, and workboxllc.com. Attention, vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
Get Moss, Max, and Less Tax during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon, presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic, is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
Need more space? Workbox LLC has the storage solutions you can count on. Whether you're a homeowner, commercial contractor, or industrial business, we have the space for you. Our secure, versatile storage units are ready to meet your needs. Contractors, keep your site organized and efficient. Store your materials with us and access them anytime you need. Businesses, industries of any size, Workbox LLC is your trusted partner for flexible, safe storage. Workbox 343-4886 and workboxllc.com.
The new location of Los Reyes Mexican Grill on West Lee across from Mike Anderson's. Man, the place looks great. Lots of indoor and outdoor seating options with plenty of big TVs to watch all your favorite games. All of the traditional Mexican cuisine with a great happy hour, 2:30 to 6:30, 7 days a week. Plus, $5 margaritas all day, all night on Wednesdays. Great spot to bring the baseball team in between games, just 5 minutes north of Traction and 5 minutes south of LSU. Los Reyes Mexican Grill, 1072 West Lee, near Nicholson.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana, Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Our Wednesday consensus golf picks are brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown.
Back here at Finbom Live at lunch.
All right. Yes, indeed. Our consensus golf report each and every Wednesday at this time, brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime, 343-1111. Both Charlie and I have used Dana's team of attorneys for different reasons at different times of our lives and did not hesitate 1 second to recommend them to friends as well. He's our guy. Never charge for that initial consultation. 343-1111 and ocbrown.com. Two picks. First of all, let's get to Max's picks. He has Justin Thomas, who's in the 20-25 to 1 range. Shane Lowry, we're trying to make a little Irish swing, huh? So, Lowry and Rory, but you got to think with the, getting the career slam, that's for the Zurich's happy, huh?
They
have to be happy. The defending champs.
Biggest draw that the Zurich has ever had. You can't do any better than a Grand Slam winner, fresh off the Grand Slam, coming to the Zurich. They've had big names there before, plenty of them, but this has got to be the biggest jolt that the Zurich has ever gotten.
So, and then of course you see that team, Lowry embracing him.
Yeah.
Leaving the 18th on his way to the post round presser. But they're buddies, their teammates. They had doing the singing Journey after
also
they won
genuine,
last year.
none of that.
And everybody loves Lowry. Rory, you don't need to speed off. When you lose the U.S. Open like that, he's been put in. They kind of pushed him to the forefront as being, a spokesperson for versus Live, the PGA versus Live. But hey, man, he's this is a cool thing.
Shane Lowry looks like the guy that you meet in the bar, and it's like, hey, let's go play 18. It's like, wow, you're really good. I mean, he's not the stereotypical golfer. He's a bigger guy. He's got the big beard. He's
Lowry.
Yeah.
Oh no, Lowry's a jolly old guy.
He's he's every man. He's just really good at golf.
No, everybody talks about how likable of a personality he is. So Max has Lowry as well. JT and Lowry. Lowry is in the 28 to 31 range. He has Jordan Spieth. Jordan Spieth at our friends at the Queen, the DraftKings outlet, is at 40 to 1. And he also has Bud Colley. So Bud Colley is down the list a little bit, 75 to 80 to 1 range. So that's his 4 picks. Our common picks, our consensus picks, and we have 1.5. Okay, and I'll qualify that in a second. Certainly, both 2 of our contributors have Jordan Spieth. The best number is, again, at the local shop here at the Queen, at the DraftKings outlet, 40 to 1 on Jordan Spieth. And you just heard Wes mention Sepp Straka, and our other contributor has Straka. So, I mean, 1.5, kind of.
Okay.
I mean, you know what I mean? Since we only have one.
As long as you explain to me why.
Okay.
That's fine.
And Sepp Straka, the best number is FanDuel has him at 45 to 1. Is at 45 to 1. So Straka and Spieth there. So you heard Wes just talk about Morikawa, Cantlay, Fleetwood, M, and Berger. And the other one. Now another it's not, where is it? It's where's the top finish, including ties, top 20. I'm trying to find top 5. But one of our contributors likes the top 5 with Scheffler. So it kind of may be a little safe. People are really pointing that Scheffler is going to be hard to beat. Some people are even looking that you may want to look at the tournament winner, without Scheffler.
Yeah,
type of props.
He's somewhere around plus 400, which is ridiculously low for a favorite in a golf tournament. And look, he never really made a run at winning the Masters, but he didn't play badly. He was there all weekend. He never had that monster round where he went low, but he didn't play bad.
What is Max's problem? I mean, he can't give us a first round leader, a pick.
Last week,
wait till I get him.
Last week he did. Last week he did.
I mean,
you off sunning yourself on the Riviera. He made money
going to win
for
the hit
us.
last 65.
66
to 1.
Justin Rose.
I mean, you can shave it down to 65 to 1, Max. We could put a unit on it. I mean, what is wrong with him?
He was here working while you were on vacation, man.
Where is he now? He's on vacation?
Working vacation. Working vacation.
Is he in Nice?
He is not in Nice. He is considerably west of Nice. Today's show brought to you by Total Maintenance, AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, one-stop service and sales shop for all of these things, both in Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Their slogan's always been service today, every day, so you're not going to sleep uncomfortable. Full service staffs in both Baton Rouge and New Orleans. Authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daykin, and Rheem AC units, Generac and Cummings generators. So if you're needing a tune-up right now, a check of your services, check. Just mention our name. Live at lunch, Jimmy I, Charles Handegriff, Max Gotro, who's on vacation. They'll give you $100 off of your AC check. Electrical and plumbing needs as well in Baton Rouge is 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance. Live at Finbom, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
This is Charles Handegriff for Home Bank. Grow your nest egg savings with a great CD rate.
Whenever you're ready. Welcome.
It's rolling.
Hang on one second. This is Charles Handegriff. Join us for the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch from the original Walk-Ons Burbank at Nicholson. Dwayne Colucci joins us from Las Vegas along with Matt Humans, and we're getting you ready for LSU and Alabama at the Box. live at lunch from the original walk-ons, 11 a.m. Thursday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
The service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Ruffino'sRestaurant.com. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Baseball and softball players of all levels get the competitive edge you've been looking for at Total Diamond Performance. Do the same lessons, camps, classes, and clinics used by top college and MLB organizations. Everything from mental performance, in-game video, and data analysis to improve pitching, throwing velocity, bat speed, and fielding. Total Diamond Performance is tailored around the individual player to build strength and athleticism while also cleaning up mechanical deficiencies. Matt Mastretta applies what he's learned working in player development with college and MLB teams. Total Diamond Performance, 931-3730. That's 931-3730.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. Now is the time to get your AC cleaned and checked before those sweltering temperatures arrive. Ensure your unit is performing at max efficiency, lower your monthly bills, and prolong the life of your central air conditioner. Right now, mention my name or Jimmy Ott and get $100 off that service. Down from $179 to $79. Call Total Maintenance for generators, electricity, and plumbing issues. In Baton Rouge, 480-1000, and in New Orleans, call 841-3300. Service today, every day at Total Maintenance.
Our 2025 Dreams Come True Radiothon presented by the Baton Rouge Clinic is happening right now, and we couldn't make dreams come true without your help. This year, Service Chevrolet, Luba, Subaru of Baton Rouge, and Duplessis Builders have each pledged to match your donations once we reach $2,000. Whatever amount you can spare will get us that much closer to making more dreams come true for local kids suffering life-threatening illnesses.
Visit 1045ESPN.com to donate today.
We're here to examine things that get better with age, like this bottle of Chateau Lafite Rothschild, vintage 1877. Age can make things more valuable, like this Picasso from his blue period, 1904. And treasured, like this Roto-Rooter jingle, 1954.
Roto-Rooter jingle?
Just listen to it.
Oh, Roto-Rooter, that's the name. And the wind go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
Timeless melody.
Roto-Rooter?
The lithe arrangement.
But it's a clog-busting company.
Wrong there. Roto-Rooter has grown into more than a clog-busting company. They're North America's largest full-service plumber and drain cleaner. And when you need Roto-Rooter, remembering this jingle can be priceless.
Roto-Rooter.
For all of your plumbing and drainage solutions, call Roto-Rooter in Baton Rouge at 925-8710. That's 925-8710.
Louisiana, you've got a new home for coverage of LSU, the New Orleans Saints, and the Southeastern Conference. LouisianaSports.net. LouisianaSports.net. Feature stories, opinion columns, recruiting updates, in-game reports. And it's all free. No paywalls, no annoying pop-up ads, no recurring subscriptions. Just the content you crave. From the folks that bring you 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, it's LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from Finbom. Sushi, burrito, poke, ramen on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Jay Johnson meeting with the media a little bit coy about what he's going to do with his pitching rotation because Alabama hasn't said anything about their pitching rotation. We certainly know
There's
what
some
happened.
history here.
Yeah, 2 years ago, we had a little. Just what a bizarre story that is. 2 years ago, Luke Holman, who later pitched at LSU last year, was pulled from the lineup late, and his coach tipped off a gambler that made a six-figure bet at Cincinnati, at the ballpark, Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, and got the coach fired. But
told him, but I got inside information.
Yeah, it's about as inside as it gets. New coach at Alabama, obviously now, and Paul Skeens won't be pitching on Thursday night, but we'll be at walk-ons tomorrow. The game at the box tomorrow night, Thursday, Friday, Saturday series. We got two more in the play-in tonight.
Yeah, Alabama's they're 11 RPI.
Yeah,
which is really strong. But I feel like they've kind of fallen out of their tree, Charlie. I think they
lost their last two series, and they've been bombed on the last two Friday nights. So it doesn't surprise me that they're thinking about changing up their rotation. They've really been hit hard in the first game of the last two series,
This,
23 runs.
This coach might give you a little side. He's got a little piss and vinegar to him too.
Yeah, he does. I'm looking forward to the series. Going to go out tomorrow night at the box. Also, LSU gymnastics tomorrow night from the NCAA national semifinals in Fort Worth.
Can I give a shout out?
Sure.
To this morning, because I'm still I'm France we're ahead, so I'm getting up real early still. Okay,
your body clock's
so
adjusting.
I went and say I had to get some plants. I'm getting I mean you got to work in the yard right now. So my buddy George is working the plants at the Walmart this morning. He said, Jimmy? I said, yeah. I said, man, I've been listening to y'all for a long. I said, okay, George, you tell me this, bro. You see Hanny over here early in the morning picking out plants? Huh? I want to know. I want to know when you see that, George.
Thanks, George. appreciate the help. No, you're not going to see that. Yard work ain't my thing, man.
Nice guy. I just wanted to give him a little shout out.
Don't like that. Heat and Bulls, Mavericks and Kings tonight. Losers season is done. Winners move on to the games Friday night. I know you're going to do this for Auto Locks later, but any initial thoughts about Heat Bulls or Mavs Kings tonight?
Well, the Bulls have beaten them all 3 times during the season. They're at home.
Is this the 3rd straight season they've met in the play-in? Heat and the Bulls? I think it is.
It was definitely 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think this is 3 years in a row. Yeah.
And the Heat barely won, didn't it? Heat won. Remember, knocked off up the.
Yeah.
What's the spread? Bulls favorite?
Bulls 2.5 at home.
Yeah, kind of like Bulls at home.
Kings to 5.5 at home against the Mavs.
Yeah.
Thanks to the folks here at Finbom for being our host tomorrow with the original walk-ons, Burbank and Nicholson. Again, we'll be out ahead of LSU and Alabama. For Jordan back in the studio, for Jimmy Ott, I'm Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.